Afternoon, this is Pat Walker at Mission Winners doing a training coaching video for everybody on how to find winning stocks. These are hard and fast rules that I've used. I managed money through the crash of '87 and everything else since. And so quite a bit of money. We avoided the crash because of the techniques we use, and for that I'm thankful. A little bit of background for me. I'm from St. Louis originally, had degrees and scholarships, and ended up teaching on the university level after graduate school. Taught advanced level classes, and my final was 24 pages typed. I had very high expectations, but I also got, at that time, the highest teacher evaluations in the history of the School of Business at a major university over in Illinois. Got involved in the investments field in 1986, and I'm very fortunate for this. I am a guy, and I think a lot of you are the same. You're passionate about succeeding at things. I was able to meet, and I'm grateful for this, some great investors through the years. I sought them out and I maneuvered in and got to meet them. I got to meet Martin Zweig one-on-one a couple of times. And if you don't know who he is, look up Zweig. He predicted the crash the week before on Wall Street week. And he wasn't a prediction guy, but he passed away years ago, met him a couple of times, had a profound impact on my life. I also met Ed Sakota and got to talk to him one-on-one. And it was a very challenging experience because every time I brought up something, he'd tilt his head back and look through his bifocals and say, "Why do you think that is?" We had a great conversation at a technical traders conference out in San Francisco. Met, and I'm grateful for this, Bill O'Neill a couple of times and got to talk to him one-on-one. Thankful for that. Met Mike Webster and got to talk to him, which was wonderful. Charlie Harris, briefly talked with him. Others also, but these were individuals that had a profound impact on my life. And I'm not a groupie looking after stuff that way. I'm there to meet them and talk with them and learn from them. And that was a big reason we started Mission Winners, was to help other people. I studied it before. Started managing in 1986, using the tactics. We were completely out in the crash of '87, managed money ever since then. Got out of the business years ago, decades ago, and our only source of income was investing profits. Supported a family of 6 with 4 kids in private schools at the same time, and a stay-at-home wife. So yeah, I'm fairly serious about what I do. That's just a little bit about me. But now let's get down to it for you. Hey, Pat, how do I do this? What do I look for? Here's some key foundations for you, all righty? And this will really help you. I'm going to slide this in first. Powerful graphic here from O'Neill and Company, stock market. And I'll just let you look at it. Soak it up, folks. Composite rating, 95 or higher. Go through all these different things. This is what comprises the composite rating. I look for a composite rating of 88 or higher on my stocks, okay? I want the best of the best. By the way, that's on a scale of from 1 to 99, 1 being the worst and 99 being the best, and I focus on 88 or higher. This is what it's comprised of. This will dramatically improve your investing results. Focus on high composite rating stocks. There's number 1. We'll slide that out. Here's number 2. Right here. Rankings, okay? Things that they're talking about, composite rating, all the variables that they take into consideration, and this one has to do with, right here, industry group rankings. Overall, that means, in this, we use this to our advantage. 50% of a leading stock's performance is linked to its industry and sector. Therefore, we focus on leading groups. High composite rating stocks, leading groups, okay? Now we've dramatically narrowed down our focus on what to look for. That is our edge. I'll focus on the top 50 to 80 groups. That's it. No, you might miss something. I don't care. I've stacked the deck in my favor, and it helps. I take notes on this too. This is important stuff. It will help you a lot. And finally, right here, research from O'Neill and Company. And yes, I was an IBD meetup co-leader for 12 years and talked about this on the stage every month. Right here. This is, again, research from O'Neill and Company. 87% of the stocks had earnings of 80% of the stocks that made huge moves had earnings of 30% or higher. Folks, there's an edge. Basically, 9 out of 10 of these stocks that made great moves had earnings of 30% or higher. Almost 9 out of the 10 had sales up 30% or higher in the quarter prior to their moves. So now you see the foundations, what to look for. I narrow it down. I don't want to look at a million different charts. I'm looking for leading groups and leading stocks. Here's a case in point right here. App 11, APP. Note the simple base right here. And I'll draw it for you just to help. It's nothing fancy, and it doesn't need to be a long base, and it doesn't need to be a cup and a handle. If you wait for the cup and a handle, you'll starve to death. Note the simple base. Note the numbers. Now you can say, well, this is after the fact. This is what we were looking at before it broke out. Earnings up 305%, sales up 44%. Important variable for everybody. You do not need both great earnings and great sales. It's nice if you have it. You just need one or the other. That will help you a lot. Also, focus on stocks that have, I stated, high composite rating. I'm going to synthesize everything for you. If you narrow your search process down and say, I'm going to focus on stocks in the top 40 or 50 groups, you can round it and say, maybe the top 80 groups. I'm going to focus on stocks in the top 80 groups. I'm going to focus on stocks with a composite rating of 88 or higher. I'm going to focus on stocks, and I would write all this down, with a relative strength of 85 or higher, an accumulation distribution of A or B, which means it's being bought. It's no low price stocks. Over $20 or $30 a share, it's within 20% of 52-week highs. If you take those variables, those constraints that I gave you, and use it, you will dramatically improve your investing results. It works. It works great. These are some of my screens just to show you. Right in here. And I use these. That screen right there, that's powerful. Timeliness rating. 88 composite rating. 85 relative strength. You can stick with that. A or B timely, and there's other constraints involved with that. Anyway, I just wanted to try to systematize for everybody to save you time, what to look for and what to do. We narrow down our focus, and it makes a huge difference in our returns. It works. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you just to help you. I saw several questions on the big Twitter feed asking, hey, what do you look for? If you take the data I just shared with you, it will help you make better investing decisions. Another key point, never argue with price. Never, never, never average down. Buy quality, buy strength. Don't buy weakness. Focus on the best of the best. Look at this app 11. I found this on my screens. I'm just going to drive home the point. Their earnings were up 300% before we bought it. Note the simple base right there. Now, I got to stress, they all don't do this, but 95 up to 330, we still own this. We sold some of the strength, but there's the money. Look at, these were the numbers that came out after we bought it. These were the numbers before we bought it. Note the earnings estimates. All of this was in play before we bought it, in place before we bought it. Anyway, I just wanted to go through very slowly, specifically, and methodically what to look for. Leading groups, leading stocks with great earnings and or great sales, good estimates going forward really helps. High composite rating, high relative strength rating, good accumulation distribution rating, leading groups, as I stated. Narrow down your focus. You don't need to look at a million different stocks and charts. Focus on the best of the best. And I'll say this again. Never argue with price. Price pays. Opinions don't pay. Forecasts don't pay. Pundits don't pay. Price pays. Get in line with price. Keep losses very small. I know I said this before, but it's that important. It's like telling your little kids, don't touch the hot stove. Don't touch the hot stove. Do this. It works. And ride trends for all they're worth. Okay? That really helps. And I will say this again. Never average down. I know you said this before. Yeah, it's that important. Keep losses small. No day trading, No 5-minute charts, like I said. Buy off the daily and the weekly, ride trends, manage them. You could sell a little bit into strength if you want to, and that does something very important. It guarantees a profit, as I stated, and it also lessens stress. One of my degrees is in psychology, as I stated, and I have to tell you, stress derails thought processes and actions. We have tactics at Mission Winners that minimizes stress. You can't eliminate it, but you can minimize it. And basically, that's what I want. That's what we do. I hope this helps you. That's my goal, is to help. I thank you all very much and have a good, safe weekend.